Welcome back to the Michael Gaddis Show on KCBQ AM 1170 The Answer. I am your host, Michael Gaddis of Michael Gaddis JD Realty Group and michaelgaddis.com. If you are at the point where you are considering a short sale, this next segment should be of great interest to you. I know most of you know, I am, in addition to being a top-producing real estate broker, I'm also a licensed California attorney and an NMLS licensed mortgage broker. You know, my background, both in legal and finance, has really helped me assist distressed homeowners since basically the end of 2008, early 2009. And I will tell you that my legal background and knowledge and experience is invaluable when it comes to helping clients navigate through the short sale process. The bottom line is short sales are hard. They are not easy. Now, almost every real estate agent under the sun is going to tell you that they have done hundreds of these short sales and that they are the most qualified to help you with a short sale. I can assure you that's not true. I mean, the vast majority of short sales that other agents have done, a lot of them fall apart for various reasons, as we'll talk about in a minute about the process and the hardships that come up with short sales. You're going to understand how, you know, having the background that I do I am able to help people get through these things and navigate through these harsh waters. And, you know, lenders, especially nowadays, in the old days when the property values were really low, the lenders it was easier to short sell your house. They were just kind of agreeing to them left and right. However, because there's an appreciation right now going on in the real estate market, the lenders are becoming more difficult in assessing these because there's an appreciation factor that gets put in there. So whatever your value of your house that they have, they put a 3 to 5% appreciation factor. So what they're doing is assuming that if they have to foreclose, by the time they have to foreclose, your property value is going to go up. So that's where it gets to be a little bit problematic. I think that that sometimes, it takes everything that I have to get through obstacles. And I could tell you hundreds and hundreds of stories about, I got one going on right now that's a nightmare. But I'll get through it. But it is literally making me pull out every talent and ability that I have to try to get it done. Now, let's talk about the process itself. The short sale process, on average, can take 4 to 6 months. It's not a quick process. It is a lot different and a lot more entailed than a normal real estate transaction. Now, the only servicer that I know that moves super efficiently is IndyMac. IndyMac is one of the more efficient servicers, and that's good and bad because you also have to watch out for the fact that their timelines for trustee sales and foreclosure are also moving simultaneous with your short sale application, so you got to be careful about that. All of the rest of the servicers can be challenging in one way or another. But the first step you have to do if you have made the determination that you need to short sell your house is you have to pick a real estate professional. That is the number one thing you have to do. And my strong recommendation is to find an agent that is also an attorney or that has a legal background. You need to find someone because I'm telling you, when we talk a little in a minute about some of the problems that we incur, you're going to see how invaluable having somebody with that background can be. So retaining a real estate agent is the very first thing that you want to do. The second thing that you want to do is you want to contact your lender and obtain their particular procedure on short sales. Now, every servicer has a different procedure for short selling houses. Some of them will let you put in pre-short sale packages. Some will not. Some will say don't submit a package until you have an offer in place. Now, that can be difficult and challenging, especially if you have a trustee sale or you're in the foreclosure process because, short sales have stigmas on them. So acquiring buyers when you market them is a little bit more difficult than it used to be. There was a period of time where almost every sale on the MLS was a short sale or an REO. Now, short sales are probably, somewhere between 4 to 7% of the MLS. So what happens is buyers typically don't want to stick around as long as it could take to get short sale approval. So acquiring a buyer can be difficult. The other thing is the agents. I mean, agents don't necessarily want to bring their buyers and put them into a short sale process without knowing if it's going to close or not. I mean, they're committing a lot of their trust to you if they do that, because, their buyers are sticking with them on their advice. So if they get into a transaction, it lingers on for months and months and months and months. They risk losing their buyer and thus, a commission. So it's really difficult to get a buyer. Plus, you have the stigma of a short sale. Now, the stigma of a short sale has more to do with the fact that, one, people want to buy the house at a premium because it's at a short sale. They think they're opportunists, and they think, hey, I can get this house at a much lower price. And two, because short sales typically have a lot of deferred maintenance, because homeowners who are short selling their house usually have come to terms with they're going to lose it and are not investing a lot of money back into the house. So a lot of these homes have, termite issues. Maybe they have wood rot, some things like that. Maybe leaky roofs, things that would under normal situations be addressed by a seller, but in short sales they're typically not. So you want to find out what, once you find out what the procedure is, whether it's submitting a prepackage or obtaining an offer is, and then you need to go from there. The next thing you need to do is you need to review the preliminary title report. So now this is important, because this is going to tell you where your obstacles are going to come out, because you cannot sell a property unless you have clean title to the property. So in this situation, I'll give you an example. You're looking for things like junior liens. So you have your first lien, and if it has a junior lien on the property, that could be problematic, especially depending on who it is, because there are some second lien holders that are very, very obstinate. Then you have to determine whether that junior lien is a recourse loan or a non-recourse loan, meaning does the second lien holder have the right to come after you in the event of a foreclosure, or is the note extinguished when a foreclosure occurs? So determining what the rights are of that junior lien holder are really important. You also want to look for judgment liens. If there's been any kind of lawsuits or anything filed or judgments entered against the seller and they put a lien on there, those have to be cleared off before you can short sell the property. HOA liens is something else you have to worry about, and I'm going to tell you something. HOAs are very dangerous. If you are short selling your property and you take one thing away from this particular segment, pay your HOA during the short sale process. Do not stop paying the HOA. They will come after you, and it follows you even if the house goes to foreclosure. So you need to take care of the HOA, or they can really throw a wrench in your short sale process. And even if it goes to foreclosure, they'll throw a wrench in your life. They will not go away. You also need to look for tax liens. See if there's any federal estate tax liens that need to be addressed. Or mechanics liens, or any other type of matters affecting title. So a good real estate professional will review the preliminary title report around the same time they take your listing, so that they know what obstacles they're going to face during the process. So that is the next step. Then you list the property for sale. Once you have a pretty good idea of what you're facing, and to make sure that you can overcome those obstacles, because you don't want to get into the process only to find out that one of these judgment lien holders are just not going to budge. Or if the HOA is demanding the $47,000 you owe them because you haven't paid them for 9 years and they're not willing to negotiate, you need to know that up front, because that's going to help you formulate how you're going to structure your deal and how you're going to negotiate with the lender. Then you list the property for sale. Now, when you list a property for sale, it is extremely important that you try to get as much money as you possibly can. And that is especially important for the reason I told you earlier, that the real estate market is appreciating upwards, and lenders are just not giving away houses anymore. They're just not letting things go. They want as much as they can get for it, and you need to show them that you've tried to get as much as possible. So it's really important that you do that, and you can do systematic price drops, during the thing. But I mean, during the process until you obtain an offer. But sorry, my producer just told me I only had 2 minutes left. He kind of took me off guard there. I was on a roll. So when you list the property for sale, try to get as much money as you possibly can. Then you need to begin collecting documents for the short sale package and begin filling out short sale application. So you need to start the process there. And then you need to obtain an offer. And as I mentioned, try to find one with as much fair market value as possible. Well, I think I'm going to have to get to the short sales maybe in a different show, and I'll finish this particular topic up because I think it's a topic that is really important to a lot of people. And there's a lot that needs to be done when these are a lot of work. They're basically about 5 times more work than an equity sale, and there's a lot of navigating that you need to do through them. Well, if you've ever been considering getting solar for your home, I have a special treat for you. I've invited the CEO of Solar Fuse, the premier solar company in all of San Diego County, to visit us in studio. You are listening to the Michael Gaddis Show on KCBQ AM 1170, The Answer.
This is AM 1170, The Answer.